Alright guys, here we go. I promised you I'd be making a video once I get my PSA order cards in hand. So that's what we're going to do here. But first off, I just want to say, after getting the cards in hand, looking them over pretty closely, I don't think I'm going to use PSA at least for a while. I do have 2 more orders that I'm waiting to come back, and a Star Wars order that has not come back as well. So there's 3 more orders that I'm waiting on, but I'm not going to send any more new cards out there. I do have a stack of about 40 cards I'm ready to send out. I was getting ready to send a PSA, but I'm going to do SGC this time. And there's a couple reasons why. Number one, this order has 2 cards in it that PSA damaged. They previously damaged a 1955 Jackie Robinson that was in, it was going to get a 6 easy, and I think it was going to get a 7, possibly a chance at an 8, unlikely an 8, but probably a 7, a 6 at worst. They put a crease in it. They've had it for 2 months still, reviewing to determine if they damaged it. I have videos and photos of the card at multiple angles before I sent it out, so I know they damaged that Jackie Robinson card. I know they damaged 2 cards in this order. Basically what it boils down to is about 6.5% of the cards I've sent out have been creased by PSA, and I'll show you one quick that was supposed to be part of the reveal. But this Carl Erskine right here, if you hold the card the hot dog way, every single one of those creases is on the side like this on those cards that have been damaged. So I'm guessing it has something to do with the fact that they're processing 1 million cards a month, and when they grab these card savers, somehow when they're pulling them out, is my guess, they're damaging them. So also, I sent in 4 vintage cards through my local card shop before I had set up my own PSA account, and those actually just came back today as well in the mail. So the first reason that I'm not sending to PSA is they keep damaging my cards, and the second reason is I've heard people say that they think they get better grading through bulk submitters than their own, and I didn't believe it until this order came in. Let's just say the grades came back higher than I think they should have, especially compared to my personal order. So we'll get into the cards here. Not going to talk about that any further. But one last thing, just in case you don't make it to the end of the video, and I was going to do it at the end, but we'll do it here instead. I did create a new Discord channel. Love as many of you guys to join as we can get. I want to build a place where we can chat, have fun talking about cards we're looking for, cards we're excited about picking up, and then it's also going to be a place where I can look at selling some of my cards and maybe give you guys some better deals than I can give you through eBay. So if there's any cards you guys see that you're ever interested in, feel free to message me here or on Discord, and we can try to work something out. But without going into that anymore, let's get into the grade reveal. Again, there's going to be overlap of my last video where I did the online grades, but then I also have 4 extra cards that came in from a separate order through my local card shop. So let's get to it. All right, so the first card is a 1966 Topps Cubs team card. This guy came back as an 8. When I sent it out, my guess was it was going to be an 8 or a 9. So happy with how that one came back. I'll move these to the other side. Second card is a 63 Topps Dodgers team card. I guess this was going to be a 7 or an 8, but after looking at it again, 5 or a 6 is what I would have guessed, and it came back as a 5. I do think it probably should have been a 6. I've got another 63 card that is worse condition than this that is in a 6, and it's actually got surface issues worse than this one does. So I think that one should have probably been a 6, but oh well. This one, cannot figure out what's wrong with it. I looked at it under my 10 power magnifier light, and I can't figure out what's wrong with it. The only thing I can think of is they didn't like that the picture is maybe a little blurry, but I guess this Dodgers card was going to be a 7 or an 8, and it came back a 4. Corners are all sharp, no wrinkles, no creases that I can find under magnification. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of on the back side on the corners, but not sure what they saw. But wouldn't have sent it in if I thought it was going to be getting less than a 7. Next, we got a 78 Topps Dodgers team card. I guess it was going to be an 8 or a 9. It came back an 8. Showed you this one before. This one is a Carl Erskine Red Heart. I thought it was going to be a 6 or a 7. And this is one. See if I can show it right there. You can see they creased it. And I double checked all my photos and videos from before I sent it out. That crease is not there. So they definitely creased that card. Next, we have a 75 Catfish Hunter. I guess this one was going to be an 8 or a 9 because of how sharp it is, but it is off-centered, so they gave it a 5. It is, again, I looked at it again under magnification. There's nothing else major wrong with it other than it is a little bit miscut in the fact that it's not got 90-degree corners all the way around. It is slightly diamond shaped, but other than that, it is sharp. So I feel like that probably should have been a 6, but oh well. We got a 68 Topps Steve Carlton. I guess this was going to be a 7 or an 8. It came back an 8, so we're very happy with that one. Next, we got a 59 Jim Gilliam. I guess this one was going to be a 7 or an 8, and it came back a 7. Got a 55 Jim Gilliam. This one came back, well, I guess it was going to be a 5 or 6. It came back a 4. I looked at it again, compared it to other 55 Bowmans, and I think it got undergraded. I really do. I know I've been saying that a lot on this order, but I think they were too hard on this order. There's a lot of 55 Bowmans that look way worse than that and way worse centered that are higher grades. This is a 61 Topps Yogi Berra. I guess it was going to be a 5 or a 6. They gave it a 3. This one I did find a small little wrinkle on the back. Not sure if that's another card they damaged or if I just missed it. But there's definitely a wrinkle on the back that does not come through to the front. Honestly, with the way I've had luck with them, I wouldn't be surprised if it was them. Next, we got a 59 Topps Hitters Foes. I guess the Hitters Foes was going to be a 6 or 7. It came back a 6. Pretty nicely centered. Looking at other 59s, I mean, I think this is easily as clean as the Jim Gilliam. And that got a 7, and this got a 6. But what can you do? Next, we got a 67 Topps Billy Williams. I guess this was going to be a 6 or 7. It came back a 6. Very sharp card. It's just the centering. If it weren't for centering, that's easily an 8. Next, we got a 68 Topps Home Run Leaders. This is another one that they creased right through here on the back. I don't know if you can see it. The crease goes right through the O on home run. Yeah, I can't get it to show, but that crease was not there. I double checked my pictures and videos again. So that one came back a 3. I guessed it was going to be a 5 or a 6. This one was bent beforehand. I knew that there was a bend in it, but it otherwise is a very clean card, so I wanted to get it slabbed up. Again, I knew it was bent ahead of time. I guess it was going to be a 5 or 6. It came back a 5. Next, we got a 67 Topps pitching leaders, 1966 pitching leaders. I guess this was going to be a 6 or a 7, and it came back a 6. Very sharp card. Just the centering on that one causing issues with it. Next, I got a 69 Topps Roberto Clemente. I thought it was going to be a 4 or a 5, and it came back a 4. 66 Topps Sandy Koufax. I guessed 4 or 5, and it came back a 4. Pretty clean card. Centering is not good, so based on centering, that's about as clean as a 6. Here's another one. I can't really find anything wrong with it. Looking at the 2 other 59 cards from this order, I really think this is just as clean, so I'm not sure. Again, I looked at it under magnification, and the only thing I can find is a little bit along the top. There's like a texture, almost like printing ink layered up thicker than it should have, but the Gilliam has it down here, and the Gilliam got a 7, and Willie Mays got a 4. So, I don't know. Disappointed with that one for sure. And then the last one from my personal order, 68 Topps Harmon Killebrew. I thought it was going to be a 6 or a 7. Came back a 5. This one's in pretty decent shape. I don't know why it got knocked down to a 5 other than top to bottom centering's off a little bit, but I don't know why it would be less than a 6 even with that centering, because the rest of the card is really nice. So that one is unfortunate. Now I'm going to go through the cards that came back from my local card shop bulk submission, and I'll show you why I'm disappointed in the inconsistencies. So first we have a 76 Topps Ed Too Tall Jones. This one came back a 6, and from the initial distance as you're looking at it, that probably doesn't look too unreasonable. But if you look a little bit closer, these corners are worse than cards that I sent in my personal order that got way worse grades. So there's that first one. Second one is the 76 Topps Hank Aaron. This got a 5 with not very good centering, and corners are not very clean. So I literally sent in, I don't have it anymore because I already sold it, but I sent in a Nolan Ryan 71 Topps card that had pretty much 0 chipping around the border, around the edges, and it was centered almost exactly like this card is, and it came back a 5. Now, you look at this card that came back a 5, and the corners are horrible. 2 of them are really bad. I don't know if you can see them on here, but the corners are not very good at all. You can see there's corner bends. They're not sharp. Why is that one getting a 5, but my personal order, Nolan Ryan, got a 5 when it was way cleaner and almost exact same centering? Next, we got a 75 Topps Hank Aaron. This got a 5. It's full of print dots. Again, corners are not very clean at all. 3 of the 4 corners are pretty poor. Print dots all over. Top to bottom centering is not very good. That got a 5. But my Jim Hunter card, wherever that is, I'm trying to find it. My Jim Hunter card, that is way sharper, got a 5 as well. Which one would you rather have? Similar left to right centering, pretty similar top to bottom centering. Catfish Hunter is slightly diamond cut, but you can barely notice it. And they got the same grade. And then the last one, I only sent these 4 in because they were cards from my uncle. This is a 1.5 71 Topps Willie Mays. I know it probably wasn't worth grading, but it was from my uncle, so I wanted to get it graded. So, anyways, you've seen my cards, you've seen my frustration. Going forward, at least probably through the rest of the year, any cards I send in for grading, I'm going to be sending to SGC. The inconsistency is unacceptable. And the fact that 6.5%, 6 2/3% of the cards I've sent in have been damaged, literally creased by PSA. I'm not giving them cards anymore for the rest of the year. So if I send to SGC, I get faster turnaround. Yeah, the money I get is probably going to be a little bit less in most cases, but 2-week turnaround versus 3 to 4 month turnaround, and I've never had SGC crease one of my cards. So end of my rant. Hopefully you guys at least enjoyed looking at some cards here. Sorry for my downer mood, but I'm a little bit frustrated. Hopefully you can understand why. Until next time, God bless. Please thumbs up and please subscribe. Thank you.